The accusation of white supremacy, especially from Daniel Dumbrill, is hilarious at best. While I don't have contact with Lawa86, he doesn't give me the vibe of being a white supremacist. I can say that I've had plenty of contact with Serpent ZA, and while in any way, shape, or form he doesn't need me to protect him, it's just my personal opinion, without his prior knowledge of me even making this video. But in my personal opinion, he's never given me any kind of racist vibes. He's never made any racist jokes or had any strange mannerisms or anything that would even slightly give a feeling of racism towards anyone, or especially Asian people. I want to start by saying that I have had some real people that I imagine probably are white supremacists contact me, and it is very real that some of those people do exist in the world. Of course, they're a very small portion of white people, but they do exist. And I have had those people contact me before on Twitter or Facebook, and I have always made it very clear in my messages to these people that this is not a battle between race. This is not white or yellow or black or green or anything of the sort. This is about the fact that we have a communist regime that wants to control the world. But Daniel doesn't want to make it about politics. Daniel wants to do what many people from the left in America want to do. They want to distract you by saying that people are racist. They want to attack them personally instead of debate any of the real topics, to discuss the real topics, because discussing the real topics means that admitting that there is a problem. The idea that any of us are anti-Asian is incredibly blind. In fact, I very much support and gain support from many Asian groups. I support all of the Asians that were involved in the Hong Kong umbrella movement. I support the Asians that want to free Tibet. I support the Asians in the Philippines, Vietnam, and Japan. Again, all of whom are Asian, but have land disputes with, you guessed it, the Chinese government. I support India, one of the largest Asian populated countries in the world. I support them in stopping the expansion of communist China. To say that we somehow dislike Asians, or that we go against them, or feel that we're better than them, or some kind of superiority. Not at all. In fact, I think Asians are more important in this battle than white people. I think that it is time for Asian people in general, from all countries, to stand up against communist China. Because, to be perfectly honest, the West cannot do it alone. One thing you'll notice about Daniel is that Daniel says, I'm a racist, and he says this over and over. So what does he do to prove this point? He takes one of my videos and he cuts it over and over and over and over to make it seem like I'm saying something I'm not, to take it out of context. Did I say that I hate old Chinese people? Yes, I did. But why did I say that? I said that because they play loud music at 5 in the morning in the park. Can't be too mad about that, right? And I think the other thing is that it's also being taken out of the context that I don't hate old Chinese people. I'm not going out there yelling at them, kicking them, doing things like that. That was insanity, okay? It was more of a joke, okay? And I think many foreigners can relate to that. But what did Daniel do? He put Chinese subtitles on it, something that I would never do. And then he somehow uses a court case against me for whatever reason. He thinks that that's somehow, I'm an animal abuser, and that makes me a racist. That going to court for something completely unrelated makes me a racist. And then because Serpent ZA has talked to me that he somehow is a racist also. You see, doesn't work that way. Someone is not guilty just by association. Just because they know someone that did something does not make them the same. Okay? Winston, of course, is not an animal abuser. He doesn't support that. That doesn't make him anything just because he talks to me and I'm somehow accused of being that. Okay? And even Daniel admits that Winston is critical of him for being in China, a country with little to no animal protection laws. Think about that. We're talking about China here, a country where people literally torture dogs to bring out more flavor into the meat. This is real. Look up the Yuling Dog Festival. It happens every year. And the videos are out there. The pictures are there. If I really abuse dogs and you believe that, fine. That's okay. You can believe whatever you want. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. But doesn't it say something good about America that I was actually charged with a crime? Had this type of thing happened in China, nothing would have been done. And to me, that says more about America than it does about China. Here's the real issue, though. Daniel Dumbrill, he has a multitude of issues as a person. Okay? For one, he's insanely toxic. He's rude to people on Twitter. And this is coming from someone that, in my videos, we very much test the boundaries. We push the edge all the time to see how far we can push them. But then he comes here on YouTube and tries to speak like an intellectual. You see, we mostly quit making videos about Daniel because, you see, Daniel isn't focused on debate. And to me, that's boring. I'm sorry. I don't have time or the want to go back and forth with you on Twitter just flaming each other. I really don't care. Daniel has had the option of a debate since day one. Daniel is focused on feeling better about, well, Daniel. You see, Daniel clearly has some issues. Daniel is by far the most self-loathing person I've ever seen on YouTube. I don't get it. What is with Daniel being so upset towards white people? I don't know. I mean, after all, his name is Daniel. I don't see him using some ethnic name, you know. Why is he using a white person name? I don't know. He gave his children white people names, right? I don't understand. Why Daniel hates himself so much? And why is he taking it out on others all the time? You see, there's a lot of things that Daniel does that don't really make any sense. To be honest, Daniel has spoke out against the freedoms of Hong Kong people, yet he made sure that his children were born there. He lived there. He enjoyed the freedoms of those and even offered those same freedoms to his own children. He uses a SIM card from Hong Kong to access the free and open internet so that he can upload videos here on YouTube. He's participating in the same freedoms that he claims that Hong Kong people do not deserve. Daniel and many of the shills share what I like to call a foreigner supremacy. What does that mean? It means that they feel as if they're above the law, that they're able to skirt around the laws, that they're above Chinese people in that way. Maybe they don't hate Chinese people, I'm not going to say that, or they dislike Chinese people, or that they're racist. But one thing is for sure, many of them feel entitled. They feel as if because they're a foreigner that they deserve more than the average Chinese person in China. And to be fair, Chinese people are very giving in that way. And Chinese people give them many advantages of being a foreigner. Okay? And of course, they push propaganda. So the CCP isn't going to bother them. They're not going to take them off the internet. They're not going to contact them in person, unless, of course, they mess up one day, which some of them probably will. But how come they're participating in these illegal activities and will claim that anti-CCP people are using them, but pro-CCP people are not breaking the law? After all, people like Daniel Dumbrill, Jayo, Barrett, Guelo60, they're all on state-run media. They're all filming in public. If I were to film in public and people knew that I was filming a video about the CCP that was negative, I, of course, would get in trouble. But again, Daniel claims that we are white supremacists and pushed by YouTube. How so? How are any of us being pushed by anyone? I have 5,500 subs, and I have grinded it from day one of my channel. And to be fair, I've gotten some help from Serpent Said A. He did mention me and give me some subs, and I appreciate that. But it is you guys that have the media behind you. You're the ones that have the large amount of subscribers. You're the ones that have bot accounts following you. You're the ones that have fake bot comments posted on every video. You're the ones that get fake thumbs up, and we get fake thumbs down on every single video. Many times when we talk about China, our videos get demonetized. Why aren't yours being demonetized? Look at the sub count. I'm telling people, look at the sub count of these shills. Look at the views. None of them have any editing skills. None of them speak the language. None of them prevent facts in videos. None of them are doing anything amazing. None of them are doing anything that hasn't been done in China. So why are they gaining all of these subs? Why are they getting these fake views? And on top of it, all of them say the exact same thing, which is just propaganda. None of them present anything new. None of them present anything entertaining. Yet these channels have thousands and thousands of subs more than mine. Yet hardly even manage to get 1/3 of the views per sub ratio. Why is it that a tiny channel like mine, with 5,500 subs, gets 1/3 views to subs ratio? But why is it that you guys don't? That is because in actuality, you guys are the ones that are being boosted, not us. CNN hasn't contacted me. Fox News hasn't contacted me. No ABC, no BBC, no one. None of these groups have contacted me. No Falun Gong. That's another huge joke. The Falun Gong. We're supported by the Falun Gong. They don't contact us for one reason. Because we're not pushing propaganda. We don't support that. Again, none of us are white supremacists. And while I can't speak for Winston, I very much support Asians against the CCP. And I think that he does too. None of us are being boosted or helped or pushed on YouTube or any state-run media outlets like you guys. In the end, we speak the truth and nothing more. And that is why our channels struggle. Because the truth, while, is the right thing to do, doesn't always gain support from the higher-ups like what you guys are getting. Again, the truth and nothing more. Like, comment, subscribe.